everyone! This video is going to be a review on some skincare products that I was sent. They're Dermalogica and it's their Clean Start range. And I would like to thank Dermalogica for sending me the products to review and try out and let you guys know what I think. So thank you very much for that. I've been using them for 5 weeks now, exclusively. The only products that I've been using in conjunction with these are moisturisers from Neutrogena. So 2 moisturisers. The SPF 15 and the Sensitive Skin Moisturiser. Apart from that, I haven't used anything else. I haven't used anything new on my skin. The reason for that and the reason why I didn't do it any sooner was that I wanted to make sure they were working, how they were working, how my skin reacted, and that way I can get a really true opinion on what I thought about the products without it being tainted by something else that may have had a reaction with my skin. So that's why I did it, and that's why it's been 5 weeks since I received the products. Now first of all, you probably look at the products and read a bit about them and think, hey, I'm not a teenager, I'm not in my 20s, this is not for me. But realistically, I'm 26, I don't have acne. I used to, but I don't anymore. I still have problematic skin though, so I still have combination skin, slightly dry, slightly oily. I do have sensitive skin, blackheads, whiteheads and the occasional breakout. I have also seen some women in their 30s and 40s post reviews on these products saying that they've worked for them. So I don't think it's really too much to do with age. I think it's a lot to do with your skin type. And if you've got problematic skin or oily skin, combination, whiteheads, blackheads, anything like that, it's definitely worth a shot. Realistically, anybody can sit out there and give you reviews on a product, but unless you go and try it yourself, you're not going to know how it works. I just hope that with some of the information that I give you guys, you know, it'll help answer some of your questions as well on the products and what they do and what they don't do. So I will have to be quite blunt and straight to the point with a lot of the products. I've recorded this video twice already and both times it took about 40 minutes, so that's definitely way too long. If you do have any questions or anything that you're wanting to know more details about, please post your questions below and let me know. If you've got any specific requests, I can answer them in more detail down below as well. I will also be doing a video on me using the actual products as well, so if your questions are relating to that, please just hang out for one more week. I'll either do it during the week or on the weekend and pop it up on my channel, so keep your eye out for that too. Now let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to bring up was the packaging. So the packaging is very much unisex, which I think is a good idea. It's very sleek, it's white, it's clean, it's crisp, it's very functional as well. The only thing I don't like about it, and this is my personal preference, is that I would prefer it if I could see how much product is left. You can feel it and feel how much product is left, and I know there's a lot left in this, but I like to see it. So I mean, it's only a small concern, and that's the worst thing I could find with the packaging. Everything else was pretty much spot on. So there was a good job with the packaging, which I really liked. So the first product they have is the Wash Off Cleanser. Now this can be used on the face, the neck, the chest, the back, basically anywhere where you think you may suffer from pimples or breakouts as well. When I was receiving the products, I actually thought that this would dry out my skin. I thought for a lot of it, because I don't have oily skin, I've got combination to dry skin, and I was really expecting it to dry out my skin. It hasn't, and that really surprised me, and it was a pleasant surprise. It impressed me actually. The cleanser itself is a nice smell. It's sort of like a citrusy smell, so it is rather pleasant. It foams up quite nicely as well. Another thing that I like about the cleanser is the actual packaging itself. To open it, you just flick the button and the lid pops up. So it's really easy to use, and that's a big plus. So I do like this, and it has been really nice, it smells really good and foams really well. The next product in the range is the standout product for me. It is my favourite, it is my pick of the entire range. It is the Ready Set Scrub. So it's kind of like a mask slash an exfoliator. What you do is put a thin coat over your face, you let it set for 5 to 7 minutes. I let mine set for 10, but it was okay. You dampen your fingers and rub it and then rinse it off. I really like this. It smells like Fruit Loops. The consistency is really nice. It says 3 to 5 times a week. I only used it twice a week and it still gave me good results. If you have more oily skin or more problematic skin, it's mild enough though that you can use it up to 5 times a week. It's not going to rip back your skin and cause your skin to produce more oil. It is very mild, but it's still very effective. So that's the Ready Set Scrub. The next product is the All Over Clear. So it's like a spray toner. This product was really quite odd to me. I hadn't used anything like it before, so it was probably the weirdest one out of the lot. Positives are that it is very refreshing. It says to use it AM and PM. I didn't use it at night, I only use it in the mornings. Now it is a very mild toner. It doesn't give you that really tight feeling that some toners do. The smell of this one is a little bit strange. That's one of my negatives about this product. The other products smell great. All of them smell really, really good. This one is a little odd. I'm not quite sure, I can't put my finger on it. Some people are probably going to like it. It's very fresh and very green. But it's not my favourite. I mean, it's not unpleasant enough that I won't use it. It's still bearable and I still will be using it. Another thing, I guess it's more of a common sense thing, which I seem to have been lacking when I was first trying out the products, was when you spray it onto your skin, don't breathe. Because you will cough and it's very unpleasant. So that's the other negative thing about it, which is more a common sense thing on the user. So just a tip, if you are going to use it, when you're spraying it, don't breathe. So the next products you can actually choose between the two, or you can have both. The first one is Welcome Matte with SPF 15. The next is Brighten Up with SPF 15. So they're basically the moisturisers. I thought I would actually go more for the Brighten Up, but I've been going more for the Welcome Matte, which is a little bit strange because I don't have oily skin. But what I have found is that in the hotter, more humid days, my makeup has been sitting and lasting longer on my skin when I use the Welcome Matte, and I don't get shiny, which I like that. And I will be using that again and again and again throughout summer because it's very impressive. The Brighten Up is also really good, but I used it more for days where I wanted to look a little bit more polished, a little bit more finished, or if I was going to do a bit more makeup. And I'll show you why soon. But for both of them, they both have SPF in them, which is normally a really big problem for me. Normally SPF will break me out. In this case, even after the 5th week, I've had no problems at all. So if you are somebody that is very sensitive or breaks out with SPF, this might be worth a shot, because I normally break out with SPF and this has been fine with me. No problems at all. Now, if you are more on the dry side, you may still want to incorporate your moisturiser in with the routine, whether it be day or just night, because they're not very, very moisturising, and they are to be used in the mornings, not at night time. So that's just something to consider as well, that if you are wanting a bit more moisture, probably just keep the moisturiser that you have and incorporate it into the regime. The difference with the Brighten Up is that it's actually more like a tinted moisturiser. It is fairly pale and it's not actually a really thick coverage. Now I'm in NW15, which is very pale, and it was a little bit dark on me, but it can be blended out to suit the skin type. If you are a darker skin type though, you may find that it's a bit too pale for you, but you can work it in. That's what it looks like there. And on my actual face, you can see that it blends in. You don't need a lot of it, but don't expect really full coverage. With the Brighten Up, it is slightly shimmery as well. A really nice subtle shimmer. So if you like that kind of look, then that's definitely something for you to consider. Now there is another product in the range. I didn't get it to review, but I know it exists, so I'm going to let you know about it anyway. It's basically a spot treatment, so it's in a tube and it's got purple writing on the outside. And if you get like a really angry pimple or something like that, or a spot or a section, you just put the cream or the gel onto that specific section to help reduce that actual breakout. The second last product that I was sent was Bedtime for Breakouts. Now when I received the range, I looked at it and thought, that's one thing I'm never going to use because it's going to dry out my skin. Now this says to use PM daily. Honestly, I only use it 2 to 3 times a week. I do use it overnight though, that's how you're meant to use it, obviously by the name. It's like a really thin gel that you apply in a layer over your face, and it helps to reduce breakouts or prevent breakouts. With this, I have noticed a difference in my blackheads and the whiteheads across my chin. Particularly they're quite angry and red. Even the redness across my cheeks has definitely reduced. Not a lot, but it is noticeable, at least for me anyway. So that's something that I thought might be helpful to you guys. And pleasantly, this did not dry out my skin at all. So even the days where I used it, the day after I washed it off as, you know, recommended, nothing. It didn't dry out my skin, and I really was expecting it to dry out my skin. I have tried other products like this from other brands, and they dried out my skin a lot, like really badly, flaking my skin. So I was kind of expecting the same, and it didn't flake my skin at all. So I really do like this. The last product is a lip gloss. Now I love lip glosses, but it's called the Smart Mouth Lip Shine, and it smells like orange creamsicle. So for you guys out there from the United States, you'll know what I'm talking about. And for those of you that don't, think of kind of like an orange ice cream, like an orange ice cream cake, I guess. I don't know. It's just a really nice, foody, sweet, orangey smell or flavour. The applicator itself, I like the fact that it screws. The packaging is very good. I've had this in my handbag ever since I got it. I haven't used hardly any of it, even though I apply it multiple times during the day. So that's definitely a plus, because you don't need a lot of the product. The applicator tip itself is actually a soft kind of rubber tip. So that was interesting, but it is actually quite nice on the lips. It's not a thick lip gloss, but even after it's gone, your lips do feel moisturised, so that's definitely a plus. So overall, I am definitely impressed with the skincare range. I went into it trying to be with an open mind, but I was expecting it to dry out my skin, and when it didn't, after the first week, I thought, okay, we'll see what happens after the second week. And after the third week, and it just didn't. It hasn't dried out my skin at all. So if you are worried about that, I hope that helps you, because it didn't dry out my skin at all, and a lot of the other products that I've tried do. So that was a very pleasant surprise, because it wasn't what I was expecting at all, but I am very glad and thankful that it didn't dry out my skin. Standout product for me is definitely the Ready Set Scrub and the Wash Off Cleanser. I like both of the products. They smell fantastic, they work very well, and they're probably my pick of the entire range. That would be my favourite. One thing that I have noticed, the biggest change in my skin was, yes, there was slightly less redness here and here. There's been no flaking at all, which is definitely a plus. I have seen a reduction in the pimples and breakouts that I get across my chin, but the main difference for me, which was something I was not expecting, the texture across my forehead. I had a lot of bumps and bumpiness under my skin, and some on top of the skin across my forehead. Now it hasn't gone completely, but within the 5 weeks I've been using this, I haven't introduced anything else. Even though I've tried other products in the past that hadn't gotten rid of it, it's going. It's nearly completely gone, and that is fantastic. I'm very shocked with that, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that at all, but I am very happy with that result. Overall, I definitely would recommend this skincare range. Anybody that has problematic skin, oily skin, combination skin, blackheads, whiteheads, acne, definitely give it a shot. If you're not wanting to go out and buy the full-size products, I do know that on their website they've got like a trial sample travel size kit, which is definitely a good option. Some companies don't offer that. So if you are wanting to just test out the products that you know, a couple of the products, get the kit and see how it goes and see how your skin reacts. But again, if you have any questions at all, please ask me, please post them below. It is a very good line. So compared to what else is out there for teenagers and people in their 20s or people with problematic skin, it is a really good option. A lot of the products out there are just going to make your skin problems worse. They're going to dry it out, which is kind of what I was expecting from this range. And when it didn't happen, and it still hasn't happened, you're onto a good thing. It's really actually working quite well, and it hasn't dried my skin out, which is a shame that so many of the products that are, you know, targeted at the people with those types of problems end up doing more harm than good. So I think it's worth a shot. And again, if you're wanting to look for the trial size, that's probably the way to go if you're not quite sure about it but you still want to test it out, and the links for that are below as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye.